Hi guys, welcome to the pod. Welcome to the Faded Fairy podcast. I'm here, your host, Emily Lee, aka Emily the Fairy. I'm not sure if you could hear it, but there's like a little tiny bird next to my door, and I hear the bird chirping away. So if you hear the bird, I'm sorry, but also it's kind of cute. I really first wanted to say thank you guys for all of the love on the first episode of the podcast. Like, a lot of you guys actually listened to it, and I was surprised because, I don't know, I would think some people think podcasts are boring, but you guys actually liked it. Thank you so much, and thank you for all of your feedback and constructive criticism. I'm gonna fix the volume on this one, don't worry. I apologize for the low volume on the last video. So yeah, you guys gave me a little confidence boost, and to be honest, I needed it because I was a little anxious starting a new thing. But now I feel like we're the cool kids club almost. You guys are getting my exclusive thoughts, and we're here like a little family, a little club, a little group. It feels exclusive and it feels cute, and I'm very into it. But okay, let's get started with the strain of the day. I just smoked some runts. Very, classic, simple. Everybody loves it. It's a hybrid, so I feel like it's the best of both worlds. I have been settling on a nice hybrid these days. Indica gummies for sleepy time, a hybrid for just everyday use, and then if I wanna clean, a sativa. I don't even care if it makes my brain a little too active. Just if I want to clean my whole house, I love a sativa. I'm gonna still ride for my sativas, okay? And now for the topic of the episode, we are going to be talking about restructuring mindsets for a calmer lifestyle. I basically asked you guys on Instagram, what stresses you out? And I'm gonna answer a bunch of those in this podcast. I wanna make this episode longer too, so I have a lot more questions to answer. I'm basically just gonna share my perspective on how I went from a very high stress kind of lifestyle to a more calm one, a more chill lifestyle. And honestly, I did that with a lot of changes in my mentality. I don't know, I just had some really toxic mindsets about money and work and productivity and just so much stuff. So I feel through different tools like therapy and research and coping mechanisms and stuff like that, I have learned to calm the fuck down. And I thought to myself, yo, I think a lot of people need to calm the fuck down. I should share what I learned. So here I am. But quickly, right before I start answering the questions, I really want to give little recommendations at the top of every episode. So at least you leave with something, even if you click off. So my little random recommendation of today is activity nights. Let me explain. If you're the type of person who finds planning something difficult or actually meeting up with people difficult, say you're not seeing your family as often as you should, or maybe you're not seeing your friends as much as you want to, plan an activity night. I started doing this with my family because I noticed that we weren't seeing each other enough, and I feel some of the older people in my family were getting a little hurt by that, so I really wanted to put an effort to show that I care. So I started planning activity nights. We did pizza and movie night one day where we made pizzas and we watched movies, and then 2 weeks later we did puzzle night where we ate food and did puzzles. And I don't know why, but having a specific activity to do made it so much better. You guys are just all focused on a thing, you have a common objective, you're not just sitting around, and you can do this with friends too. Everybody could chip in for some pizza and snacks, and then you guys can just sit there and do puzzles, or Legos, or paint night, or candle night. I don't know, I feel this sounds so fun. Basically, what I'm trying to say is you can bond with your people that you care about over a fun activity and some food. And it's just a great night. Alright, enough of that. Let's get into the questions, okay? I asked 2 different questions, so we're gonna start off with what stresses you out? You guys had so many answers. Oh my god. Oh my god, you guys are so stressed. We're so stressed as a collective. But I want to say, you guys are very honest and very self-aware. And I think that's great because that's the first step. The second question that I'll get to after is, what is one bad habit you got from how you were raised? And these were deep. So just wait up for that. We're starting easy. Okay, the funniest thing about the first question, what stresses you out? Literally so many people just wrote people. You guys are so real. You guys are so me. We are the same. I think one thing to note is that we really need to stop caring so much about other people. I mentioned this in the first episode, but I really think this is a certain mindset that really needs restructuring. Like, why are we caring so much about other people? Why are we giving them the energy to stress us out? Like, sometimes I'm driving and somebody cuts me off and I'm literally pissed off for like 45 minutes. Like, why am I giving them that power? Why am I sitting there mad over a stranger? And it just doesn't make sense that like this stranger is taking up that space in my day, in my life. I realized a good way to deal with people just in general is like just stay to yourself. Like, live your own life, focus on you, focus on your dreams and your career and yourself and your relationships that are flourishing, and honestly just mind your business. I survive so much of my everyday life by minding my business. Do you know how much stuff I peep? Do you know how many times I'm on my phone and I peep some shit, some shady shit, and I'm just like, I feel like running my mouth. Do I? No. Because I'm here protecting my peace and minding my damn business. Also, I realized a big hack in life is just be nice and friendly. Like, genuinely just be a nice, friendly person. And I feel like people don't really come to stress you out much because you're just chilling. Like, literally, we all just need to chill. That's all. I truly feel like I will receive the energy I give off. So, like, if I'm being friendly to somebody, I feel like people are normally friendly back. And if they're not friendly back, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, there's something wrong with you. I don't really take it personally. So yeah, I guess my biggest advice on not letting people stress you out is worry about yourself and mind your business and just be cordial, be civil. Like, here's how I see it, you know, if you're at work and your coworker is pissing you off every single day, like, you need to understand that your job is worth more than this person annoying you. So it's like, just be calm, be chill. This is why I smoke so much weed, guys. Like, I am not a naturally chill person. Like, I've been through so much trauma and random shit in my life where I really could sit here and be so fucking angry at the world, you know? Like, I could sit here and, like, hate everybody and think there's evil everywhere. And, like, yeah, there is times where I'm in a mindset of, like, everybody sucks, this world sucks, da-da-da-da-da. But, like, learning how to stay grounded and focused on what I want in life really helped me just like calm down. Literally just helped me calm down so much. But okay, next question and concern. So many people wrote money. I feel like money stresses us all the fuck out. Like, honestly, I hate it. It makes me like hate the world. The whole concept of money makes me extremely angry sometimes. But I digress, we move on. How do we not be stressed out about money? Right? I honestly feel like I need to do like a whole YouTube video on like budgeting and like tracking your finances and how to like bounce back financially, because I did it. I successfully did it, and it took me like over a year of like budgeting and tracking my finances. I feel like that's like so much to talk about in a podcast, so I'm gonna more so talk about how I changed my mindset about money to help me, I guess, realize I deserve to make more money, if that makes sense. So I came from a family where the mindsets around money were money is scarce, money is hard to get, and we're gonna do whatever we can to save money because we don't have a lot of it. So it was like we only bought things on sale. People definitely depended on credit cards to get what they wanted, not actual money. And I grew up thinking that this is like a normal mindset. But to be honest, like, seeing how credit cards were used in my family, actually made me like literally never want a credit card. Like I have one credit card to this day and I barely use it because I'm so scared of credit card debt. I really wasn't taught to like save money. I didn't know anything about like you're supposed to save this percentage and use this percentage. There was nothing about budgeting. There was a lot of mindsets around like quick money, like just getting money quickly. I'ma just be honest with you guys right now. I'm laughing because it's awkward, not because it's funny, by the way. My dad was a hustler. My dad was a drug dealer, okay? Growing up, that's how my dad got his money. He had a boat, he had a house, he bought me sneakers, but we were fighting over child support money. So, like, I don't know what's up with that. Basically, I just grew up knowing and feeling the stresses of money from a very, very young age. And I didn't even realize that until I got older. There was this one time in my life, probably for like 8 months, where I was broke. Like the brokest I've ever been, like as an adult and out on my own. Like I left home, I think as soon as I turned 19 years old. As soon as I had money to leave, I left. So I've been doing all of this on my own for like 6 years now. I'm turning 25, oh my god. But yeah, there was a point in my life where right before my Instagram started going good, your girl was broke. Your girl was smoking roaches. Your girl was smoking block work. Okay, your girl was broke. All I could do was pay my rent and bills. Like I was on some let me sell some shit on Facebook Marketplace type of broke. And I noticed that I was doing the same shit that I saw as a kid. I was using my credit card. I was starting to depend on like, okay, I don't have enough money for rent, but I need to buy groceries. So let me use my credit card to buy the groceries so I could use my real money to pay my rent. And it was like the same shit was reverting back. The same mindsets were coming back to me where like, oh shit, money is really hard to get right now. I need to buy everything on sale. You know, I'm really into like the environment and I'm vegan and, you know, I like to buy beauty products that are clean beauty and vegan when I can and of course cruelty free. And like I just remember at this time of me being so broke, I had to buy a spray deodorant from Dollar Tree. I was like, yo, I literally can't buy what I want because I just can't afford it. And this shit sucks. Like I felt like I couldn't even like be like me genuinely as a person because I couldn't afford to buy like the $7 like vegan deodorant over the $1 like spray deodorant. And that like crushed me, honestly. And then I remember I started like going out more. I was like, I cannot be in the house depressed. I need to just like meet people, go out. And I started seeing how people lived. So beautiful, their apartments, ordering food whenever they wanted. Like people lived so luxuriously and beautifully. And I would be in awe. Like I literally would always be so appreciative. I remember I even dated somebody and like every time they ordered me food, I was like, thank you so much. And they told me like, you're literally the most appreciative girl that I've like met. And I was like, no, because I literally appreciate it. Like from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate it. And then seeing how other people lived made me realize like, I literally deserve to live better. Like how I'm living right now sucks. So I had to think like, okay, what do I do? Like literally, what do I do? So I started learning about budgeting. I literally started tracking my finances. I still do this. I have a notebook where for the entire year, I write for every month the date, a description of what I bought, and the amount. I write it in black for when I spend money and I write it in green for when I make money. Then at the end of the month, I literally do a finance review. Like I straight up do a finance review. I basically add up everything from every category. So like groceries, food, Ubers, gas, etc. And then I see where I'm spending too much money. And guys, when I tell you I started doing this and I started seeing how much money I spent on weed, guys, I almost threw up. I almost threw up looking that I spent more money on weed than food. And, you know, if I'm buying like block work, right, I'm paying in cash. So I'm spending my money on weed. But I'm spending my credit card money on groceries? Girl, what the fuck? Honestly. And sometimes I think we really just need to put ourselves in check. But basically, I started doing this and I noticed that I just made less money than what I spent every month. And obviously, you're never gonna save up money if you're in the negative every single month. So I was like, yo, what the fuck do I do? Because at this point, I know I deserve better. Before, I was totally fine with like, I just can't afford it. I just can't do better. I just can't. I was okay thinking that I don't deserve it. But now I'm at the point where I'm like, yo, actually, no, I definitely deserve better. Now, I think I deserve queen treatment. Did I just whistle? Like, did I just whistle when I said queen? Queen. New talent unlocked. Oh my god, anyways. I deserve princess treatment, guys. I know that now, but before I was settling for way less. But let me tell you what I did. I noticed that the math was not mathing. So I said, I need to spend less money and I need to make more money. How the fuck am I gonna do that? One, I started working really hard. I started working really hard and like studying social media. Oh my god, my cat just jumped on the desk. Noki, you literally can't be here. You can't be here. You're not invited. Okay, we're back. Yeah, I started working really fucking hard, guys. But additionally to that, I literally called all of my bills, like all of my utilities, my internet, everything, my phone, and I said, hey, can we make my bill cheaper somehow? And let me tell you this, they literally all helped me. They all wanted to make it cheaper for me. They were all so nice. And then also on top of that, I moved to a smaller apartment so that it could be cheaper. It was really important for me to have the math be mathing. So I needed to make more money than I was spending. And with doing all of this, like working really hard, getting my shit together, getting my life together, getting my mental health together, it all helped me get my finances together. All because I saw other people living so beautifully and I said, yo, I literally deserve to live beautifully too. And that changed my life. Low-key, I feel like I really need to make like an entire video on this because there's just so much that I can say that I feel like it would take over this entire episode. So I must move on. I literally must. So many people are stressed out about becoming an adult. One person specifically said the fact that they're slowly realizing they're becoming an adult is stressing them out so much. And I agree so much. Like, I think I previously said it, like, I moved out at 19. I literally was just like an unsupervised teen with money, like with YouTube money. But you know, I've been growing up, I've been maturing, and I too feel like, whoa, I'm an adult. Now I feel like an adult. I feel like all these years I never felt like an adult. I actually really welcome the feeling because I'm doing a lot of adult things. Like, I shouldn't discredit myself by thinking that I'm like still like a kid or something. Like, I'm definitely accomplished and I'm definitely an adult. And I just see it as like more of a life stage and more of a, I guess, a new beginning type of thing. Like, there's definitely more stresses. And you know what's one thing that really stresses me out? Paperwork and like doing online forms and like sending in things to get approved and like, I don't know, health insurance. I literally just got health insurance, guys. Like, I did not have health insurance for like 2 years. It's not funny. It's not funny. Couldn't get health insurance because I was self-employed. But anyways, I have it now. I literally just got my card yesterday in the mail. But guess what? Now that I'm able to go to the doctor and treat my chronic illness and also figure out my mental health, oh, it's over for bitches. It's over for bitches. I'm doing all of this with an untreated chronic illness. Imagine that. I feel sick all the time. But I don't really talk about it because who wants to hear about it? You know what I mean? But those are the type of things that I hate as an adult. Like, why did I have an untreated chronic illness for a year? But I literally couldn't get health insurance. And like, those are the things that stress me out as an adult. But I realized just as long as I make a to-do list of all of these little shitty things that I need to do, I'll get it done. But I just can't put it off because that's one thing. I'll procrastinate it. Anything that feels too adult or too complicated, I used to procrastinate the shit out of that. But guess what, honeys? We're adults now. We're making to-do lists and we're checking them off. And it's gonna be easy and it's gonna be simple because you know what? We're in a new beginning and we're grown. We are in our grown era and we gotta start acting like it. Ow, Noki! He just bit my foot. All right, last question from what stresses you out. A lot of people said trying to be perfect. Hear me out on this, right? I'm gonna say a fact. There will always be somebody better than you and there will always be somebody worse than you at every single thing. And I don't know, take that as you will, because there is this definition of perfect that doesn't even exist. What's perfect? Who is perfect? Perfect doesn't even really exist. And to be honest, perfect people are probably boring because they just want to be perfect so bad that they end up being people pleasers. So live your truth, girly. But honestly, I find myself being very hard on myself when it comes to anything that I make. So like I try really hard to like do everything perfectly, like my definition of perfect, when I just realize that's me being so hard on myself that I'm never gonna be happy with what I make because I'm focusing so much on trying to be perfect. Perfect for who even? Like perfect for the algorithm? Perfect for the viewers? Perfect for my parents? Perfect for me? Like perfect for who? But here's the thing. If you believe yourself are perfect naturally, then that perfectness flows through you. So if you are an artist and you are making art and you're trying to be perfect, you're already making perfect art because you're making it through you. If that makes sense? Does this even make sense? Am I getting too spiritual? Anyways, I think what I'm trying to say is just we really need to start thinking as a collective that perfect doesn't exist. I'm not gonna lie, reading about all of your stresses just stressed me the fuck out. So I'm gonna go smoke a little bit more and then I'll come back with our next segment. Drum roll, please. Alright, I'm back. I smoked and I ate some vegan brioche bread. I was a little bit hungry. Now all I'm thinking about is what I'm gonna eat after this. Probably gonna order food because I low-key need to buy groceries. Another adult thing that I don't love, how we have to keep feeding ourselves. I think I'm gonna try meal prepping sometime soon, who knows. But anyways, let's just get to the questions, okay? I asked you guys, what's one bad habit you got from how you were raised? These are like these deep-rooted things, okay? And I want to say, again, you guys are so self-aware, and I really feel like if you're aware of these problems, it's like the first step in changing them, or like changing your mindsets on them. So the fact that you guys are self-aware is great. But I want to touch on some of the ones that I saw a lot, share my opinions on them and whatnot. One of them that I saw a lot that I relate to is yelling and raising your voice when there's a conflict. Oh my god, I came from a yelling family. I came from an insult family. I would yell and laugh afterwards. To be honest, I was so desensitized to like arguing and yelling that by the time I was in high school, I would like argue in my house and laugh at the people afterwards because I thought it was funny, when nah, that's not funny, that's trauma. But besides the point, yeah, my default was also yelling and being angry and raising my voice. And I have to say, I never yell anymore. Like I literally never yell at people simply because nobody's really like bothering me to the extent that I want to yell at them. And even if they are, I know like coping mechanisms to like de-escalate my anger so that I don't yell because I don't want to yell. Because once I start yelling, then we have an argument, then my day is ruined. I don't want to deal with that. So I just like calm down. I basically just like calm down in the situation. One thing I noticed is like yelling really doesn't solve anything. Like if anything, everybody's just getting more stressed out. It's triggering more emotions for everybody. And it's not gonna end in a like positive way or a positive solution. In my opinion, right, there's two different ways of talking when there's like a problem. There's like a solution-based type of talking, and then there's just like you guys are yelling at each other because you guys just want to be right. I feel like for me personally, the method where I'm just sitting there talking and expressing myself honestly and vulnerably while looking for a solution that works for everybody has honestly saved me from a lot of arguments. Another thing is just like I realized life is so much better when you're not yelling. Like I'm like actually such a like quiet person now. Even when I listen to music, it's not even that loud because I like don't want to bother my neighbors. Like maybe I'm like too considerate in that sense. But like as soon as things get loud or people start yelling or people start arguing, like I'm out. Like I'm really not into that environment. Like I grew up with that environment and I know that's not how I want to live. So it's easy for me to kind of like see how people are, and if they have that disrespect towards me while I'm trying to like calmly talk to them, like okay, this is not a relationship that I'm like really thrilled about. And like I'm at the stage in my life now where like I can separate myself from relationships that don't feel good anymore, and I have become like really good at boundaries. I guess just like trying to look at things with a more grounded perspective has made me like not even want to yell. Like I don't even want to yell at people, which is crazy because I used to yell for fun, you know, like I would be laughing about it because I thought it was funny. So that just shows like you deserve better, and you know that you deserve better. So just keep that in mind. Like every time you want to yell, or if somebody's yelling at you, think about like, yo, why are they yelling at me? Like what? Like relax. Let's like talk like adults here. We're grown. The theme of this episode is we're grown now, okay? No more yelling, no more fighting. That's childish. We're not doing that anymore. But okay, next one. Okay, this one was common too. A lot of people said a bad habit they picked up was that emotions are bad. Like expressing your emotions are bad. Sadness is bad, crying is bad. I also come from a family who don't really recognize like the true range of emotions. Like sadness is not bad. Like we need to express our sadness. This is a natural emotion. I think just like coming to terms with the fact that there's no good or bad emotions, they just exist, is a really helpful mindset. Because now when I'm sad, instead of running away from the sadness or trying to like think about anything but the sadness, I'm able to kind of sit in it, process it, and kind of think about it and cry. And honestly, crying is like your body's way of relieving stress. Like you physically feel better after crying, and crying is not a bad thing. Crying is just a thing, a natural human thing that we do. Even animals cry. So I think it's just about like welcoming all emotions and knowing that there's not a bad emotion and there's not a good emotion. Sadness isn't something to run away from, and in order to have like the full human life experience, you need to be feeling all emotions. And to be honest, if you're piling up your emotions and you're not expressing yourself, they're all gonna come out one day, probably on a day that you don't want, probably on a person that you don't want to, and it's probably gonna suck. So microdose your emotions instead of piling them up and letting them explode. Feel them throughout the day. Oh my god, a lot of people said people pleasing. I feel like I'm not the person to give advice on people pleasing because for some reason, I don't know, I never really cared so much. Like, I literally have been the problem child in my family. Oh yeah, I'm dropping out of college. Oh yeah, like I'm gonna pursue art. Oh, like I'm gonna go to a music school. Like I was constantly like this rebellious person. I got tattoos as soon as I moved out. Everybody was mad. Everybody was mad. And I literally didn't care. I have had people in my family be like, Emily, like, are you gonna get a real job? Like, what's going on? And I just don't care. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is. I feel like it's just my delusions. But I truly think, like, why am I gonna live for other people when it's my life? I'm here every day. I wake up every day. I spend how many hours do we spend a week? 15, 16? I don't even know. But I spend so many hours a week doing things. Why am I gonna live for other people when they're not even here? So I never really had that concern. I don't know why. I almost feel like, is there something wrong with me that I'm like too much like in my own world? Who knows? But I guess give your opinion. What's your opinion on people pleasing? How do we fix people pleasing? Alright, and last one I'm going to talk about is being bad at vulnerability. I find that, yeah, people are bad at vulnerability. Even me, like, I see vulnerability as such an important skill for communication. But even with that, it's still hard for me. Like, yeah, I'll force myself to have these like tricky, vulnerable conversations, but will I like make a joke inside there to make it less awkward? Yeah. Like, I will laugh while telling somebody my traumatic, vulnerable story. And it's like, girl, you don't gotta do that. But that's how I do it, okay? That's what feels good to me now. I'm sure I'll get to a point where I don't need to use humor as a little jokey joke to lighten the mood. But vulnerability is really, really good. when you want to communicate something with somebody that you care about, I feel like genuine connections are built on vulnerability. And if you can't be vulnerable, then how do you expect to have like a real genuine connection with somebody? I really struggle with surface level relationships. I don't know why. I don't feel fulfilled by them, and it's confusing to me how like acquaintances exist. Like, I'm just really bad at relationships with people. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's all very confusing to me. I feel fulfilled when I have like a deep, vulnerable conversation with somebody. But if I'm just having like a surface level conversation and like the whole relationship is just surface level, it starts to confuse me. Like, I'm almost like, oh, are we not friends? But then at the end of the day, not everybody's gonna be like that vulnerable friend to you. Some people are just more like surface level friends, and that's okay. But it does confuse me. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say that I am not always confused. I'm always confused. In life, I'm just a confused person overall. But for me personally, vulnerability has gotten me so far with everything that I've wanted. Just being genuinely me as a person, explaining myself. If I feel like I did something wrong, I literally will like call the person and be like, you know what, I'm actually sorry. Like, I think I handled that weirdly, so like, let me explain myself. I really thrive off of being able to communicate with people. So vulnerability is just a tool for deeper communication and understanding. So yeah, I feel like if you really care about a person, it's important to be vulnerable and express yourself and like not hold back. I feel like when somebody's vulnerable with me, I take it as like, oh wow, they actually really trusted me, and like I'm gonna talk to them in a way of like kindness. I would say if you feel like you're bad at vulnerability but you want to practice being better, pick like a close friend and just try to be a little bit more vulnerable with them like in your everyday life and see where that gets you, because then you might realize like, wow, I really actually like building these relationships with people and like having these deeper conversations, and then it becomes easier to be vulnerable with somebody that you just met. Okay, I'm gonna say something. Recently, instead of ghosting, I've been like, hey, just letting you know, like, I'm not really feeling the vibes here. Like, I wish you the best. And expressing my real emotions instead of just like ghosting the awkward Tinder talking stage. You know what I mean? Like, I've been trying to like be nice because, you know, they don't deserve to get ghosted and feel confused, or like maybe they don't care, maybe they do care, but like as long as I'm being honest and expressing myself, I feel better about the situation. But I wouldn't have been able to be vulnerable with a stranger if I wasn't able to be vulnerable with somebody closer to me first. So I feel like it took me a lot of self-work to be able to communicate myself so honestly with somebody that I literally just talked to for a couple days on Tinder. I just love honesty, okay? But alright, we are now done with the Q&As. We are done with the serious chats. I literally have been talking for so long. Oh my god, and I have therapy in 1 hour. Like, I'm about to be talking for another hour after this about the horrors of my life. But that's okay. We're here to be silly because it's now the silly section. Okay, so I asked you guys to ask me some would you rathers, and I'm gonna do this like a speed round. I'm gonna try to make it fast. Have a paper cut every day or feel like you have a rock in your shoe every day? Oh my god. I have to say the rock in the shoe because I hate paper cuts. This is disgusting. Would you rather lick the floor of a prison shower or lick the floor of the subway? Like, don't disrespect me like this. Would you rather smoke bongs or joints for the rest of your life? Joints, to be honest with you. I'm just like not a bong person. I used to be, but like not really anymore. I think I just don't want to clean it. And it's too little sometimes, like unless it's a huge bong. Would you rather be able to read minds or become invisible? I think if I was able to read minds, I would literally like hate it. I think I would hate it. I would hate it, yeah. I don't want to know what people are thinking. But being invisible, I'm into that. That sounds fun. But do I have to be naked? Because are they gonna see my clothes, or are my clothes also invisible with me? Because I know nobody could see me, but I would have to be outside naked. I don't know. How do you guys feel? Would you rather have unlimited weed or unlimited money? Guys, is this a fucking question? Unlimited money. Come on. Would you rather shave your head or never get your nails done again? I already shaved my head in the past. I shaved it like twice. So I'd just shave my head. Yeah. Would you rather have your notes app leaked or messages with your ex when you broke up? Wait, is it like messages of me and my ex when we were dating or after we broke up? Because if you're saying me and my ex after we broke up, there are no texts because I don't text exes. Okay? Stop that, guys. Every time I see memes about people still calling their exes and letting them know how their day went, I'm always like, you guys really need to do better, honestly. So I guess I would rather get my messages with my ex leaked because they don't exist. Hee. My notes app though, fire. Nobody can see that. Hee. A lot of you guys said lose weed or lose my cat forever, and honestly, like, why would you even wish that on my cat? I don't respect that at all. I'm not even answering the question because I don't even want to ponder that thought. Would you rather pet an elephant or pet a cheetah? Oh, that's not even what it says. It says, would you rather have a pet elephant or pet cheetah? Well, it would have to be in the most humane way possible. They would have to have like the best life ever, but I don't think me keeping them as a pet is them having the best life ever. But if I had to choose in like just a fantasy world setting, I'm gonna say elephant. Would you rather commit counterfeit or arson? I don't think I could answer that question documented here on the internet. Smoke block work for 2 months or take back your ex? I would smoke block work for 2 months. And then, to be honest, that would be like a really nice little tolerance break. So then after 2 months, I actually helped myself. So I would much rather do that. Nah, why are you guys coming for me for being vegan? Would you rather eat a piece of bacon or smoke a roach from the club floor? I've been vegan for 5 years. I think, both are disgusting thoughts to me. Smoking a roach from the club floor. Oh my god. Eating a piece of bacon or smoking a roach from the club floor. The club floor, though. I'm sorry, but I'm not picking the bacon. Like, if you thought you were gonna clock me on this, I'm literally vegan for life. Like, I mean, if I have health problems in the future and the doctor tells me, I cannot be vegan, you're gonna die, then okay, I won't be vegan, but like, I'm gonna be vegan, okay? I'm not eating the bacon. I'm gonna smoke the roach from the club floor, but I'm gonna sanitize the shit out of it. I'm gonna burn it with the lighter. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm picking the roach. I'm sorry. Oh my god. Yes, I'm so happy I'm ending on this question because I wanted to answer it as soon as I first saw it. Somebody said, would I rather regularly smoke with Nicki but never listen to her music again, or never meet her but be able to listen to her music? Nicki Minaj, by the way. I actually really thought about this because I really considered the situation. And what I decided on is that, like, I am going to choose never meeting her but listening to her music simply for the fact of, like, okay, to me, I grew up listening to Nicki since middle school and she's an icon. Like, she's an icon in my head. So, like, if I actually met her in real life and we became, like, buddies and we're smoking all the time, it's not gonna have that same, like, idol, like, thing anymore. And I don't have that with a lot of people. Like, I feel like I'm not a person who gets starstruck. I've seen a lot of random celebrities and, like, I'm never starstruck. But I feel like if I saw Nicki Minaj, like, I literally feel like I'd be, like, so starstruck. Like, I'm seeing, like, this icon. Like, this person that almost, like, doesn't exist in a real reality. Like, this thing, this character, this empire. You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm totally okay with, like, just having her as an icon in my head, appreciating her art, listening to her music, loving it, singing it, whatever, but never meeting her. Simply just because I'm content. Like, I'm content just having her in my head as just this figment of a icon. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's it for the silly section. We're literally almost done. This episode was so long. Let me know if you like that. But we're now up to M's Gems, which is just my little section where I just share whatever I think is a useful thing. You know, like a little bit of advice or like something cute to lift you up. Whatever. Today I'm gonna share some affirmations that have truly like changed my perspective on so many things. One of them is I am enough. Like literally just you are enough as you are. As a person right now, you are enough. Another one is whatever doesn't work out for me is simply not meant for me. So if I'm looking at a situation and I'm so bummed that it didn't work out, like say I didn't book a job, or this person doesn't like me, or, this thing that I did fell through, I now look at it with the mindset of it's just not meant for me. If it was meant for me, it will come naturally. If whatever I really wanted didn't work out, it's because there's better coming, and what is coming will come so naturally that it will take me by surprise. And honestly, this is how I live my life. Like, I literally live my life like this. Sometimes I get stuck on whatever I didn't get that I wanted. And I'm not gonna lie, at times it's hard. Like, I sit there and I feel bad that I didn't get what I wanted. And then I start taking it personally. Once I start taking it personally, I'm just like, Emily, please relax. Like, it's not that serious. 1, 2, it's just not meant for you right now. What is meant to be will come, and it will come naturally. And you know what? I'm not even opposed to second chances. Say I tried to do something and it didn't work out the first time. Maybe it's just simply not the time for it. Maybe in like 6 months, it will be the time for it and it will come back. And that's how you know it was really meant for you, because it came back naturally. I feel like don't dwell on shit. What's meant to be will happen. And I feel like if we have negative mindsets towards it, we're almost like self-sabotaging ourselves, because it's like, damn, we can't even be like positive in our brain. Like, we can't even just like think that it's good, it's gonna be okay. So yeah, I feel like we gotta hype ourselves up and we gotta use our positive affirmations. I am enough, I am smart, I am beautiful, everything comes to me naturally. I am a money magnet. That's a big one that I use. And yeah, honestly, positive self-talk is where it's at. And yeah, that is the end of this episode. Thank you so much for listening. I end off every episode with a quote, and I felt like this one was good for the topic in the beginning of this conversation about money. Okay, this quote taught me more about money than my own family. And it is, if you can't buy it twice, you can't afford it. By Jay-Z. Let me tell you, when I first moved out, this quote is how I lived my life. I heard this and I said, wait, that's smart. And I'm not even gonna lie, at a certain point, I would extend the number. So I would say something like, if I can't buy it 5 times, I can't afford it. If I can't buy it 10 times, I can't afford it. And just always having that mindset, like, really helped me save a lot of money. And I have to say, if I didn't save money, I would have been broke for a lot longer than that, like, 6-8 month period where I was, like, really broke. Okay? Like, I had money saved because of this fucking Jay-Z quote. Can you believe that? From a Jay-Z quote. Truly helped my life. I'm not even lying. But yeah, maybe that quote will help you too. But now I have to go. You guys are great. I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you for listening to my podcast and supporting me as a person. Yeah, love you guys. Bye.